Welcome, Azania Mastermind. Eskom faces a collapse within the next 5 years as electricity tariffs stand at an outrageously high rate, the highest rate seen by Eskom. Now, people are turning to more sinister forms of connecting as frustration mounts. So much frustration is mounting. People don't know where to turn. They're turning to more sinister ways of bridging their electricity meters. And this will become a problem that's more and more harder. As it is, Eskom is struggling to track down who's paying for electricity and who's stealing electricity. And so as this number of people who connect to the grid illegally increases, they will have a problem cracking down on this problem. More and more people are going off-grid or semi-off-grid, with geysers and fridges being backed up by solar panels or solar energy. Some other forms of energy are beginning to infiltrate the market. These companies are beginning to infiltrate the market. So this is leading to Eskom facing a collapse within the next 5 years. Azania Development Mastermind, electricity tariffs are outrageously high. Some people buy 50 Rand electricity and they get 16.5 units. Some people get 26.5 units. This uneven cost structure, this difference in cost in rates, this inconsistency in rates shows an unstable business model, which is one of the reasons why Moody's is downgrading Eskom, or is on the verge of downgrading Eskom. Eskom, there's a scramble for leadership. Every time there's a scramble for leadership within an organization, it is followed by a collapse. This collapse will be occurring within the next 5 years. A scramble for leadership as Pagamani Hadebe resigns, and recently, about a day ago, Jabu Mabuza was appointed the acting CEO. Too many acting CEOs, no permanent CEOs, no permanent leadership, no stable leadership is a recipe for a collapse. Things are headed down the same road as SAA. You guys know SAA, a failing parastatal, which Cyril Ramaphosa will see the collapse of during his administration. The ANC have mismanaged SOEs such as Eskom, because it is in their very fabric, it is in their very DNA to mismanage, to mess things up. They are a terrorist organization, as you know from the stories of how they made the townships ungovernable, and how their camps on other African countries, how their exile camps, or how their military camps were managed. It shows you how they're managing Eskom. So, the many bad deals surrounding Eskom, such as the Trillian deal, the many bad coal deals, such as the Trillian deals, are coming back to bite them. There's been 12 CEOs in the last decade, 6 chairpersons, 60 directors, 30 executives, and this cost 514 million Rand. R500 million. Trillian was asked to pay back the 600 million that was paid to it illegally. Because of this corrupted, the ANC has run Eskom into the ground, and no amount of money thrown at Eskom will rescue it, because it's not a money problem, it's a management problem. And the ANC are the best in the world. They have proven themselves as the best in the world, as the elite in the world, when it comes to mismanaging SOEs, mismanaging countries, mismanaging policies. They've proven the best of the best. The CEOs of Eskom have shown a short-term outlook, which has caused Eskom to lose vision and sustainability. That is why Eskom faces collapse within the next 5 years, or even sooner. We'll be scrambling for electricity. We'll either have to get independent private companies to supply the grid, or to supply private households. Solar panels. You should be getting into solar panels right now. If you're a South African, if you're smart. 18. So they borrowed 18.4 billion, I think it's from the World Bank, and 2.2 billion from the African Development Bank. They've taken over 100 billion rand in bailouts. And still, they can't stop the bleeding, because these are technical problems, people. These are engineering problems. The problems facing Medupi and Kusile are engineering problems, and they still are trying they're still pouring money into these projects that seem like they're failing. So Eskom's demand is not going up because the technical leadership and the technical leadership is something that's not there at Eskom at the moment, or not being allowed to be expressed. Henceforth, we are just funding corruption with these bailouts. There's no turnaround plan. Like I said, another Eskom CEO has resigned without a turnaround plan. Another CEO is being put in, Jabu Mabuza, without a turnaround plan. You need someone with a technical know-how. But the ANC, with their system of catered deployment, do not mind putting in someone who does not have the engineering know-how, just so that they can benefit politically. So this is why Eskom is facing this collapse within the next 5 years. It's gonna be a very dark day in South Africa, as this once exemplary energy utility, one of the most exemplary in the world under the apartheid government, which I'm not condoning, apartheid at all. But if something was successfully run, it was successfully run, and that's that. Facts are facts. Not condemning apartheid at all. I hate apartheid. Apartheid was oppressive, and it was damaging to the psyche of the black man. And you can see it today. You can see it today. Black people, this is embarrassing. But not to black people. It's not our fault. It's the ANC's fault, as there's still corruption at Eskom. Private off-grid companies will begin to dominate the market. They will begin to infiltrate the market. Demand for Eskom's power will begin to reduce. And Eskom will have a nightmare having to manage the amount of people that are illegally using electricity. Horrible engineering practices like meter sharing are costing Eskom, and they are in need of 69. Tito Mboweni has allocated 69 billion rand over the next 3 years to Eskom, and the reality is Eskom cannot be unbundled. It's not a practical solution. Not a practical solution at all. Just wait for their garage door. So, horrible engineering practices. This is why Eskom is facing collapse within the next 5 years. We as the people have the choice. We have the people, if we come together, we can demand better from this government. We can demand this government. We can demand it better, most definitely. So that's what's happening. This is the state of Eskom. And I wonder where this is going. I wonder where this will lead us, people of Azania. We need to stand up and fight for these hikes, this outrageously high tariff costs, or else we will continue to bear them and live under the strain of this mismanagement, inbred mismanagement. ANC government. Thank you for your time. And we will find a solution. The people will find a solution to this. Thank you, Azania.